Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building here in the world of Evergreen Harbor, which is of course the world that came in the Eco Life expansion pack. So today I am building a nightclub, which I don't think I have ever done before on my channel. I feel like that's very ridiculous, but I think it's true. I've built a lot of things, I have a lot of videos, and they're like 99% speed builds, and I don't think any one of them is a nightclub. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I can't remember one. I know I built like one or two before I started my channel, but I really don't think I've done one since. But either way, today it's going to be one for my save file, which I'm very excited about because I'm always excited to share a build for my save, but especially this one because I like building in this world. And like I said, I don't think I've ever shared a nightclub on the channel, but I wanted it to be like a like converted warehouse or factory or something like that. I feel like it looks maybe a little bit more like a warehouse, but either way, that's not too big of a deal. But I think it looks really nice here in this dock area of this world. It's very industrial in this area. If you guys aren't familiar with this expansion pack, it comes with this world that I talked about, and you can actually change the world through gameplay. It's very interesting. I really like it. So when you first launch the game, the world looks kind of dirty. There's trash everywhere. It's more industrial. The houses are like out of date, but through gameplay or through cheats, you can upgrade the world to become cleaner, more modern, more eco-friendly, and like the whole environment changes. There's more like greenery around. The houses change to look more modern, and you'll see like solar panels and stuff. So it's really cool. I really like the two different versions. I like building in both of them. In my save file, it will be the more industrial, dirty version of the world. And then if you want to, you can upgrade it. I don't have like a ton of builds in the more upgraded version of the world, but I do have some. So I'm trying to build more and more just like as time goes on. So if you decide to download my save and you decide to upgrade the world, I'm hoping to have like enough builds on the gallery that you could go ahead and download them and fill the world in the more modern version. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you guys will like this build. Like I said, it's a nightclub. It's an old sort of like factory build or warehouse, and I really tried to keep that like that feel, and I think the owners of this nightclub really want it to feel that way as well. So there's like boxes around and a lot of just like old supplies and things that kind of remind you that this actually used to be a real functioning business, and it's not just, well, I mean, it is just a nightclub, but there's things left around. I tried to make it look a little bit more like, you know, it used to actually be a working factory or warehouse or something. So yeah, hopefully you guys are gonna like it. I tried to include a lot of different activities. There's the DJ station, of course. I think that's a requirement of a nightclub. I'm not exactly sure. I actually built this under the residential lot type. So I mean, I met all the requirements once I switched it to a nightclub, so I'm not sure if that is one of the requirements, but either way, there's a DJ station, there's a couple of dance floors, and I decided to use the dance floors that look like boxes that have been laid out on the ground. I thought those like made so much sense for this build. So yeah, I used those, and I noticed that your Sims don't necessarily dance on those. They kind of just dance wherever. And now that I think about it, I guess that a DJ station wouldn't be required for a nightclub because those came with Get Together, and nightclubs are a base game feature. So I guess you probably just need a stereo and like a bar or something. I'm not sure, but either way, it's not too important. Yeah, there's the whole dance area. There's a bar, of course. I included 2 ping pong tables, a foosball table, a card table, and also a place to do comedy. So on the very top floor, I decided to put a microphone up there and a couple of like tables, a dartboard, and I figured it was kind of like a comedy area. I thought that would be pretty interesting. I've never included that in a build before. I really want to do one in San Myshuno that's a very like industrial looking sort of like city block, and I really want to have like an underground like kind of comedy area. I think that would be so cool. Let me know if you guys would like that idea. I've had that idea for like such a long time, and I've tried to build in San Myshuno like an actual build so many different times. Like I've only ever been capable of doing apartments. I think I've done like 2 penthouses And I've tried to build other ones, but I just always kind of struggle. But I do have ideas. It's just a matter of executing them and making them actually come to life is the hard part. So I do have lots of community lots in mind. I actually started another community lot the other day for my save file too. So hopefully I will finish that here pretty soon. So I can share that one with you guys and then actually get a version of this save file out. I really just need to actually spend some time and not building and actually putting it together so I can release it, because it's been a while since I released the first version, and so many of you guys ask me about it all of the time. But if you already have the first version, then you can go on the gallery and download the rest of the builds that I've done so far, because those are the only major changes that I've done. I haven't done any like other changes like storylines and stuff, because that's going to take me some time and I just don't have the time. So I apologize, but either way, as you can see, the build is starting to come together. This exterior came together really easily for me. Like, it wasn't too difficult to think how I wanted it to look, because I already built a warehouse out here in this neighborhood for my save, and it was for the household that you see in the trailer. I forget exactly their names, but either way, they live out here, and I built them like a converted warehouse, and it's more of like the branch between the industrial version of the world and the more modern, eco-friendly version of the world. So if you guys haven't seen that build, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's one of my like all-time favorite builds. I know I say that all the time, but I love that build. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it too. If you have seen it, definitely let me know. But yeah, I wanted this one to look very similar. I wanted them to be pretty cohesive. And I think these are the only two now that I have in this neighborhood for this world. I have built some other ones in the other neighborhoods, but what's left in this one is the two container home lots. There's a household that lives out here, and Fry built the house with the crane. It's amazing. It's like such a cool build, and I'm going to get rid of it because I'm gonna build something for my save, but I feel so guilty. She's such a talented builder. If you guys aren't familiar with her channel is called Simproved, and she's one of my absolute favorites. I actually watched her channel a ton before I started my own channel, and she really inspired me to start building because she's just so creative and so talented. So definitely check her out. But yeah, she built that one, and I'm gonna get rid of it. Let me know if you guys have any ideas of what I should put in its place. And then there's another lot with no household, and then there's also the like maker space, I think is what it's called, and I think you can see it just there in the distance. I don't know what I want to do with that lot exactly, but of course I want to continue with the industrial theme. But let me know if you guys have any like ideas for the type of lot and stuff. I don't really know that much about that community lot type that came with this expansion pack because I haven't built one yet, and I've done zero gameplay. So let me know anything that you guys have in mind or any suggestions. I would love to hear it. But yeah, so like I said, the exterior came together really easily. I had a pretty clear idea of how I wanted it to look, but when it came to the interior, I got completely stuck. I actually started this build like a week ago. I finished the exterior, and then I tried to build the interior, and I had no idea. Like, I tried several different layouts, and it just wasn't making sense to me. And I think that was about at this point of the build is when I came back to it. And so the latest kit was released, and it's called the Industrial Loft Kit, which I do like. I did do a apartment loft using that kit, and I especially love the couches. Like, the leather texture on the couch and the chair is just so cool. And there's like a new archway, which is really cool, and a new window. And yeah, overall, I really like that pack, and it came really handy in building the interior. And I don't know if it inspired like the layout for this interior, but once I had that kit, I made the interior come together. I didn't really use like a ton of items from it, so if you don't have it, don't worry about it too much. You can easily replace the items that I used. I mostly just used the ceiling lights and the couches and a couple of like the decorations, like that really distressed wall decoration. I used it up in the comedy area. I forgot what it's called for a second. I used it up there, and I thought that just looked so perfect. And then I also used like the pipes, I think. But I think that's it. But just a couple of things. Mostly, I think I used items from a ton of different packs. I mean, we have so many packs that suit this like really industrial, like rustic sort of look. Like, there's so many things from like base game, get to work, Eco Lifestyle, and just like various other packs. Like this brick that I'm using throughout the build is from Dine Out, and I love this brick. If you guys really love the industrial feel and you just got like the kit or something and you're looking for something else, I would highly recommend Dine Out just so you can get this brick. There's so many different like color options, and they're all just so distressed and kind of dirty looking, and they're so cool. And so yeah, I thought they were pretty perfect in this build. I used it everywhere. But here you can see I'm starting off by decorating the bathrooms first, and I just made 2 stalls in here. I would have loved to have like a larger bathroom, so I could have actually used the bathroom stalls that came from Discovery University, but they would have been way too big to fit in there. But I think there's some with like graffiti on them, and they would have looked so cool in here. But either way, I didn't have the room for it, so it's just 2 simple stalls and a sink and a mirror. And also I used the soap dispenser and the towel dispenser that came from Get to Work. I thought those looked really nice. But here you can see I'm moving on to like the main area. I struggled a little bit placing these staircases because of the platforms, but thankfully I made it work, and this staircase worked so nicely for this style. It also came from Get to Work, and it's like absolutely perfect for this sort of interior. And then here on the second floor, I made most of the space like really open. Of course, if you feel like you need more activities or more room, you could easily make this area a little bit smaller and close it in and have more actual floor space. But I felt like it just made it look so realistic, because any warehouse I have ever been in is nice and like open. There's lots of like beams and stuff everywhere. And looking back, I probably should have used some of that ducting that came from the industrial loft kit, and I didn't use any of it, but I think it would have looked really cool in here. Maybe I'll find a spot for it. I'm not exactly sure, but that's another really cool item that came with that pack, because we don't have anything like it. And I think more ceiling decorations would be really cool to see in like future packs. But anyways, out here I decided to add another staircase. I thought this would kind of add to the whole look, and I decided to remove the roof on that back part of the building that pokes out and make a sort of balcony area. I also thought that looked really nice. Out there I ended up putting like a seating area and another ping pong table, but really like you could put anything out there just to add like another activity and something for your Sims to do. I thought would be kind of nice, and just like a different environment. So if you're like taking screenshots and you want some of them to be outside, you have another spot to do it basically. And I really like the whole trash can area. I put a couple of dumpsters in there that came from the Eco Lifestyle pack, and they're covered in graffiti. There's trash piled up around them, and it just really adds to that whole like look and feel of this world. But since I got rid of the tower that was right here, I was trying to figure out how to fill in its space. And so what I ended up doing is just adding this roof decoration and some like grass and stuff. I was really like hunting through the live edit objects trying to find something to place here, but I think I end up leaving it just like this. There's so many good things though to like build this style with. There's so many good things just like throughout all of the packs. Like it's so much fun. And I really just want to build another one in this area. Oh, actually another lot that I forgot about in this neighborhood is the train station. It's originally a bar in the like launch of the game, but I think I want to turn it into like a coffee shop or a restaurant or something. I think that would work for the whole like train station feel, because I definitely want to continue with that idea, but I just don't really know how I want it to look. The original one actually looks really good. I might just renovate it. I don't know, I haven't decided. I do have a train station board on my Pinterest where I've been trying to collect ideas, because I've had this idea in my mind for a long time, as I do with most of my builds, but I'm not exactly sure how I want it to look exactly. But anyways, here you can see I'm finally starting with the actual decorations. This is the bar that I end up using. The bar came from Strangerville. I thought it worked perfect for the style because it has the corrugated siding on it. It has like stickers and decals and all kinds of stuff that I think really suit this build, because I really tried to add lots of decorations that kind of had that same sort of like feel, and I think it just suits the whole like rustic converted warehouse nightclub feel. And yeah, I thought the bar actually worked really nicely here. I was trying to put it up on the platform, but I felt like that worked better for the DJ station, and this DJ station I thought also worked for the style too, because it's up on like boxes and it doesn't look as like new and as nice as the other options. And then behind the bar I put a couple of signs. I ended up using these ones. I'm not sure what pack those came from actually, but I think they look nice. And then I put a couple of bottle racks up here, and what I decided to do was size up some of these cutting boards that came from Dine Out and just kind of cover up the actual like lighting behind them just to make them feel a little bit more just rustic and not as like newer looking. I don't know. I didn't really like the blue light that was behind the bottles. I wish we could like turn it off somehow, but unfortunately I don't think that's possible. But up here I do have a seating area, so these couches and chairs came from the industrial loft kit. Like I said, this leather texture is so good. Like I love it so much. Let me know if you guys like it as much as I do. And I love the throw on it too. Like having those extra decorations just that makes it look so cozy, and I just really love seeing that extra detail, and I adore them. They're one of my new favorite things. But anyway, so I think that area turned out really nicely. And also the coffee table looks like a guitar case, which I thought looked pretty cool, and has stickers and stuff on it. And then down here I do have a ping pong table. It's a bit crowded, but I did play test this. Everything does work. The only thing that I noticed that was kind of bothering me is when the Sims were dancing around the DJ station, they kind of like walk off the platform, not very smoothly, because it's way higher than they're supposed to be able to walk off of. So I didn't think that was going to be possible, but they were trying to dance so close to the DJ station that it was just kind of happening. I really don't think that's supposed to be where they're like supposed to dance. You would think they would dance on the dance floors, but I don't know. I never do any gameplay like I've said before, so I'm really not sure how it has worked over time or how it's supposed to work, but I feel like it's not supposed to work like that. But anyways, here I'm just adding some wall decorations. I thought the graffiti would actually look pretty good in here, and I really like that one with the face. I especially liked where I put it over on the truck, the delivery truck outside. I thought that looked pretty cool. But here I decided to switch up the door leading to this like side door, and I went with this one, which I don't know if it really makes sense here, but I felt like it kind of looked cool and kind of made sense for the look I was going for. And maybe it wasn't the original door that was there, but maybe it was like part of a room that they decided to get rid of, but they kept the door and put it right there just because whoever owns this place thought it was really cool and interesting. So I think that's the idea that I'm gonna go for. But either way, here I'm just picking out some decorations to put on at the back of the bar. I thought these looked really nice. I thought about putting a sink back here, and that's usually what I do behind a bar because I feel like it makes sense. But then I didn't want random Sims walking back there and like getting water to drink or washing their hands or something random like that. So I just left it alone, and I think that looks nice. Other than that, on the walls though, I found different artwork and stuff that I could find in the game that I thought made sense. I also put some cracks and stuff. I was trying to make it look really like rustic. Like, you know, this building has been here a long time, so I felt like the cracks kind of added to that. But I didn't want to add too many of them because I didn't want it to feel like dilapidated or like it hasn't been taken care of or like it was too run down. I definitely wanted it to feel very rustic, but I didn't want it to feel like it was falling apart. So hopefully that makes sense. And I also added a ton of pipes and signs and stuff around. A lot of them came from Get to Work, so that's another pack if you're really liking this whole industrial feel. There's tons of stuff from that pack. And then this is supposed to be like the main entryway. I noticed that the Sims mostly used the side door, but it didn't bother me too much. They also used the garage doors behind the DJ station. I was hoping to find something to block that, but I haven't found anything yet. I was doing some gameplay in the slot, like testing it, and it was driving me crazy that they were walking through that door because I didn't want them to. So maybe I will find something to block it. We will see. But either way, I hung up this sign up here. I thought this looked really cool. It came from the Moschino stuff pack, and I changed the lighting on it. I'm using the tool mod, and with the tool mod, if you shift click on a light, I think it's either from that mod or the Better Build and Buy, but either way, I have both of them installed. And if you shift click on a light, you can change the color in build mode, which is amazing. I don't know why that's not a feature already in just the regular game, but with that mod, it's possible, and it really added to the effect of this build, I think. So I went through and changed some of the lights, not all of them. I didn't want like the coloring to be too overpowering, but I wanted it to be subtle and a little bit different. And yeah, I think it totally added to that whole like feel that I was going for, and I think it looks so cool. I also put that huge fan on the wall. I thought that was like pretty perfect. And instead of having another staircase, I put a ladder up to the 3rd floor. And so up there, I think that's probably my favorite spot, just because I've never done a place for comedy before. And it's something I've been wanting to do. Like I said, I've had that idea for SimLicy for such a long time. Hopefully I can make it happen. And yeah, I don't know. I love going to like see comedy shows in real life. So it's something I've wanted to bring to The Sims forever basically. But yeah, that's it for the whole first couple of floors, and I decorated the balcony. And then moving on to the last floor, like I've mentioned, there's the comedy area up here. There's a couple of tables, and I really just tried to make it feel like your Sims would actually do comedy up here. And I desperately wanted to include a dartboard. I think I ended up leaving it up here, but I couldn't really find a good spot to put one anywhere else, but there's at least one. And yeah, I put a microphone up here, I put a bar stool, and I put a water bottle on top of it because anytime I've ever been to a comedy show, they're always drinking water, and the only one that we have is like this jug of water that makes it really look like it's water. So I felt like that worked pretty nicely. And I wanted to turn it into like more of a stage, but unfortunately the way I did the roofs, they would come into the room because for some reason platforms like make the roof come in for some reason. I don't know why that happens exactly. I'm hoping they fix that. But this is the wall decoration that I was talking about that came from the industrial loft kit recently. This is one of my favorite items that came in that pack. I would love to see more things like it, and it looks so good against the brick, and it's just so worn, and it just looks so cool in my opinion. But these are the tables and chairs that I end up using. The tables came from Cats and Dogs. I thought they worked perfect for an industrial style, and the chairs I think came from City Living if I remember correctly. And then I also used a couple of those rain chains that came from the Snowy Escape pack. I put those next to the microphone as well, and I thought those were absolutely perfect for an industrial feel, and I probably should have used them maybe like a couple more times throughout the build. I think they would have worked in the lower levels as well, but either way, I'm really happy with the way that turned out. And then other than that, I added some like neon signs up here, a couple of other signs, and different decorations. I also have some decorations up on the tables that I thought looked pretty good. And yeah, I just basically tried to add as much detail as I possibly could without making it too crowded. I still wanted it to be functional, of course, and I wanted your Sims to be able to get around. And I did playtest this area. I had my Sim go up here and like do some comedy. Unfortunately, nobody came up here to watch her, but you could easily probably, if you have like a group of people, maybe make that happen. I'm not really sure if Sims will actually sit down and listen to a comedy show if your Sim is performing. Let me know if it works that way. I hope it does. But either way, I wanted to add a couple of other activities and stuff here on the exterior. So I added this food cart that came from the Eco Lifestyle pack, and I think this is basically it for the build. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the screenshots. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!